This is Lila. She's 7. Make one like this, make yours here. And make one like this and make yours here. And make one like this and make yours here. And then you're gonna keep, very nice. So you're gonna keep doing the same thing. Ta-da! You're a pro. Ta-da! You have another one.
And I have another one. Ta-da! Ta-da!
Wow. Very good.
Ta-da! This one's hard.
Try and keep your paper straight in front of you like that.
That one's hard.
That one didn't stump you at all.
Ta-da! Okay, this one.
We're doing this with chalk.
That's all I can do.
That's okay. And that's the last one. You're doing great. I like the hard ones like that. You got them like that. And that was the last.
Ta-da!
So we're going to start with this first activity.
Okay.
And what you're going to do is draw a line from the car all the way to the house. Now take your time and try to stay inside the lines. Ready? Begin. That was perfect. So for the next one that you see down there, now you're going to draw a line from the car all the way up to the house and try and stay in the lines as best you can. Ready, start. You're very good at this. You don't have to go back. You're good. All right. Very good job. Now the next one, what you're going to do is you're going to take your time and you're going to draw a straight line to connect all the dots, starting here and going this way. And keep your pencil on the paper the whole time. Ready? Begin. Remember to try and keep your pencil on the paper the whole time and don't pick it up to connect the next dot. Yeah. Very good. Okay, and the last one. This one is going to do with folding. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold on the line, just like me. I'm going to demonstrate it for you. That way. So the corner goes away. Now you try it. You're going to start here. Fold the corner of the paper on the line. Now fold all the other corners the same way. You just ate your Tic Tac, didn't you? Now fold on this line.
This way?
Mm-hmm. Nice job. All right, now we're gonna do jumping jacks. I'm gonna demonstrate it for you. Like this, hands together, feet apart.
Luke,
No, you're gonna do jumping jacks until I tell you to stop. Ready? Begin. Very good. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna get tired more quickly. Alright, you remember what I demonstrated to you? Alright, now let me see you do it. Can you do it a little bit slower? Throw it back and forth to each other. Don't throw it too hard, okay? Alright, ready? Nice one.
I'm just gonna sit here and relax. Look, you gotta watch out. We're gonna start with the typical hopscotch. You know what that looks like? Yeah. Alright, draw it. Yeah, starting here. And we'll go through it. I'll try and find a rock while you draw it. Got it? Where did you get the rock from last time? It was over there by the... Over this way? Okay. Found one. Anything fun happen at school today? Say nope. Besides, you got cake after school. And I thought the icing was gross. I was over by the other door waiting for you guys, and I didn't know. I was like worried that you guys were somewhere else. I couldn't see your mom. I was like, I can't find them. And then you can walk around the back, right? Yep. Tell found out that you guys were outside. Well, the thing is, sometimes they're outside and sometimes they're not outside. How many are you gonna make? That completely isn't right. Can you number them too? Don't hit your hand. Ah, you made this one a long one. 16. Wow. Alright, you get to go first. You broke it. Alright, let's. No. Stop working. Yep. And back. Oh yeah, should I do it too? Do you want to start making the next one? Lila? We're gonna make the next one. Which one do you want to make out of here? We can make a circle, a shell, because that was just too easy for you. Shell. The shell? Alright, you have to start with like a big outside one. Wait, do it, you have to make it big. You're gonna get on top of this one now. Okay. Can I help on this one? You want to help this one? We'll start over here, and it'll be, you draw them. Interesting. You're gonna make the box so small. I want to see you fit your feet in there. We have to number them. We have to like make boxes. Let's see how you do this. And then I want you to number them too. Okay, done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one's gonna be long. 13. Oh, 13 again? Alright, now let me see you go through it. On one foot? Whoa. Wait, now, here. There, you want me to go? Why are you breaking your jaw? You want me to do orange? Wait, you're going to keep going. Oh, you broke it in half so we could share it. You're very smart. She is going to number the squares, and then I'm going to hotchkotch them. Alright, let me see how you go through this one. Where are you going? You're wrong. Okay, this is how you do it. You are a pro. Well, I didn't throw the rock, that's why. Alright, now throw the rock. I have to go to there.
For this video, I used Lila, who I babysit for, and her brother Luke makes a couple guest appearances. Here's the signed consent form, and to start, I graded the VMI. She had a raw score of 25 on the VMI, which is in the 91st percentile for her age group. I did not complete the scribble or imitation section because she is age 7 and was fully capable. I did some prompting and encouragement. As you can see, she also has a lot of pride in herself during this. Next, I scored the bot. Lila scored perfectly for jumping jacks. She was able to do 5 in a row without a problem, and I didn't need to do a second one. She also scored perfectly on items 3 and 4, drawing through the lines. For the connecting the dot section, she was deducted points for picking up her pencil, and a fault of mine, I did not instruct her not to turn the paper more than 45 degrees, so therefore when she was turning the paper to connect the lines, she was deducted points. Another mistake on my part was that I told her to fold the paper, the middle line, the wrong way. She folded all of the other lines correctly. During the clinical observations, I saw several things. For prone extension, she was able to extend both her arms and legs simultaneously for about 10 seconds, while also screaming and laughing, which was impressive. She was able to do diadokinesia even after I demonstrated. She still did it at a rapid speed. I had to ask her to slow down a bit, and you can see that she stumbles when having to get her hands back into the opposite motions, but she does get there after planning it out and demonstrating it. Please excuse Luke during that video. When throwing and catching the ball, she uses an underhand throw, most likely because that's what I had done first. She's able to catch the ball with both hands in space at midline. She dropped the ball once but was able to catch it during all of the other throws. She had some trouble using the correct force to get the ball to me, but it was mostly okay. For my play activity, I decided to do hopscotch with Lila from experience because I babysit her. I know that she loves sidewalk chalk and playing outside, so I thought hopscotch would be a good idea. Hopscotch addresses several therapeutic benefits that are coming from an OT perspective. For example, it helps build body control, balance, and a lot of spatial awareness, as well as several aspects of gross motor and fine motor skills that you have seen in the video. The activity is a great play activity to involve higher level coordination and motor planning skills as well. The fine motor skills include grasps. She needs to use a gross grasp because the chalk is bigger, but she needs to be able to write with that as well. This also includes being able to use bilateral stabilization while she's bending over, making sure that she doesn't fall while she's writing as well. To begin, through activity analysis, she must know what hopscotch looks like and translate that to be able to draw it out on the sidewalk. Drawing with chalk requires a lot of proprioception because it can easily break. She must gauge how hard to press down with the chalk on the sidewalk so it does not break. She also must be able to make squares that are big enough for her feet and know what her body size is. Next, she's also required to throw the rock. She begins hopscotch by throwing the rock. This requires a lot of hand-eye coordination. Using the biomechanical frame of reference, she must use the correct speed and accuracy to throw the rock where she would like. Next is hopping. Hopping is one of the most important aspects of hopscotch. It requires balance, coordination, and a lot of midline development if you're hopping on one foot. Using the biomechanical frame of reference again, she has to generate enough strength to hop with one leg, clear the ground, and then land again in a different space without falling. This is required through all of the different hopscotch boards that she did, especially the circle one. She had to hop on one foot the whole time. This required her to go in a circle motion, which was a little bit more difficult. On another board, she was required to hop sideways with one foot, which also requires a lot of balance and coordination. Body control and sequencing is huge in hopscotch as well when she's hopping. She must step inside the box, slow her body down, and then start it up again every time she wants to go from one box to the next. This requires a lot of spatial awareness to know where her body is and which way to move one foot or two depending on the box. That requires a lot of sequencing, knowing which number comes next and knowing how to get there. With regards to sequencing again, hopscotch is performed in a series of steps that always goes in order. You draw the board, you find a rock, you throw the rock, you step and hop to the rock, you grab it, and you come back. Praxis and motor planning are heavily involved with this as well. They're required at every step, and I could see this as the designs got more difficult for her, including the one where she had to step sideways. She would pause, think about it, and then execute the hopping movement. Cognition is largely required during these steps as well to know 1, 2, 3, and so on, as she's number 1 writing with the chalk and number 2 hopping in order. To grade this activity up and down, there are several different things that you can do. In the video, you can see that I came prepared to grade the activity up knowing that she can do a simple hopscotch board. So I came with a couple different designs that were in increasing difficulty. There was the simple board, there was the harder one where you had to hop on one leg in a circle. There was another board that had 3 blocks across rather than just 1, 2, 1, 2. This one had 1, 3, 1, 3. She was required to hop 1 to the left or right and then hop in order on one foot. These were a little bit more difficult than the other ones. It involved difficulty when she was drawing them out, knowing what size to make the boxes again, and the order that they were going in. To grade this activity down, you could make the hopscotch board smaller. You could hop on 2 feet rather than 1 if you were to do it and it was too difficult to hop on 1 foot, and you could obviously not do more difficult designs.